Alright guys, so before we get into the video, I just want to tell you that I need your full attention if you want this guide to change your life. I'm not a YouTuber who hopes to control your attention with fancy edits or some psychological tricks or other stuff to get you watch my previous stuff too. This channel is actually for me, and I'm sure you are pretty confused right now and call me maybe egotistical or toxic or whatever. But I'm recording these videos for a young guy who's on self-improvement, wants to help his family achieve financial freedom and be finally free so he can do whatever he wants. And finally live like a top 1% man who doesn't need to care about money anymore. Yes, this is who I am. And I want to have people who are like me, who think like me, act like me. If you're interested in joining our new fresh community, then please subscribe to our channel and like this video so you can be part of this movement. So in this video, I want to talk about what the new rich have in common. But first of all, who are the new rich? Here's a quick explanation on who they are. The new rich, as explained by Timothy Ferriss, who was the author of this book, one of the best books I ever read. And he said that the new rich are the people who prioritize their time and freedom over traditional notions of wealth. This means no hustle culture. They manage it to work less and earn more money. And in this video, you will see what separates them from the rest of us. And I'm sure you will be very surprised. But now, enough talking, so let's get into the video. So a couple months ago, I was at my limit, and I couldn't go further anymore. I was trying to manage my multiple businesses and my schoolwork, my homeworks. I needed to learn for exams, and I had a bunch of exams, and I needed to go to the gym and do all of that stuff. What do you think did happen? I stopped doing good habits. I didn't even go to gym. I stopped eating the right amount of food, and I was only learning, reading, and trying to level up my business. But this led to depression, anxiety, so a fear of future, uncertainties, very often burnouts, and limiting beliefs about my business. So I failed at that time a lot of businesses. Even the businesses I made money online, they failed too. And these were a lot of things that were destroying me at that time from inside. And so I started crying in front of my parents, even though I didn't want to. So it was a little bit cringe for me, but it helped a lot. And so the time passed away, and I had no successful business. So I was doing no business work anymore because I wasn't sure where to start. I was only business hopping from let's say I was doing drop shipping and then drop service, and then I would want to start with affiliate marketing and then SaaS. So I just couldn't find the right business for me. And then the summer holidays started, and all I did was journaling and diving deep into my thoughts. So I was still researching this secret to success and wealth and a bunch of stuff. But I knew I had a problem, but I didn't know what it was and how I could solve it. So journaling helped a lot, diving very deep into my thoughts and finding the emotions that were actually like a bully in my mind. As I was diving deep into my thoughts, I found something, and what I found is pretty interesting, very interesting, and I'm pretty sure you will find it interesting too. Maybe you already know it, but chances are if you clicked on this video, then probably not. Now, it may sound obvious, but for me at that time, it wasn't. So let's take Berlin in year 1945 as an example. At that time, after the Second World War ended, Berlin was divided into 4 parts. DDR, there was the government back then, and let's say you were a prisoner at that time. Prisoners were just stuck in police cars for hours, and when they would actually arrive to the prison, they didn't know where they were, even though they were actually in Berlin, but they were just driven around to Berlin, so they didn't know where they were. And this was the exact thing that was happening to me. The answer was just right in front of me, but I couldn't see it. I wasn't even able to see it. But once I realized that every new rich, or let's say even every person that is wealthy and successful in life, can process and control their emotions very, very well. Because every human being on this world has anxiety. But if you look on successful people, they all can process their emotions and control their anxiety. Of course they have anxiety, but they can control it. They can control it very, very well. I was controlled by my emotions for a very long time. And for those who stayed until now, I want to praise you for being that focused. You have my respect, and I'm sure my next videos will completely change your life. So anxiety, ego, uncertainties, and a lot more emotions are pretty dangerous for you. So before you start sparking up, I just want to explain why it's dangerous. Having a lot of ego means that you see yourself as the best being, and that you already know everything, and you basically see yourself as a guy who doesn't need to learn anymore, which can stop your growth for a long time. And uncertainties about something can also affect your growth. Let's say, for example, you are not sure if YouTube is the right business for you, and you maybe only post like 3 or 7 videos, and then you just say, oh, that wasn't the right one for me, so I should maybe quit. And if you had continued, then maybe your videos would go viral and you would actually accomplish something. But the problem is, it can also be that by you actually listening to your thoughts, you just quit or didn't even start the business that you actually wanted to start. Can you see what I'm up to? The reason why you're broke, sad, depressed, lonely is not because you're doing something wrong. It's because you have a weak mind. The Stoics had a very well trained mind. And now I'm not going to go deep into that because I'm going to make a full series about Stoicism, how you can control your emotions, and a lot more than that. Here's a small explanation of who the Stoics were. All you have to know right now is that the Stoics, that Stoicism were an ancient Roman philosophy, and the main concept is about accepting the things that you cannot control, whilst caring about only these things that are under your control. For example, how you react to things, how you improve yourself. But the things that you cannot control are, for example, the weather. You can't change the weather. But as I said before, I will make a lot of videos about that soon. So if you're interested in controlling your emotions, then I would suggest you to watch my next stuff too, because it's going to be so epic. Believe me, bro, it's going to change your life. You see, I have never seen rich people who didn't even lose a single penny. But I've seen poor people who didn't even lose a single penny in their entire lives. In order to actually become successful, you need to have a very, very strong and sharp mind. Just like having a good physique, you also need to have a good brain, a good mind. And you can also train that as well as you can train your body. And eventually have control over your emotions. But like the previous example, you need to control and process them, not abandon them. Because you can't lose your emotions, but you can learn how to control them and process so you can get a benefit from it. Being emotional is like being a dog who is leashed and is trying to go out and catch the cat even though his owner is moving towards another place. So see his owner as the life itself, and if you try to oppose your owner, so did life. You will just try so hard to reach the cat, but you will just suffer and you just don't have the strength to, but still you will forcefully follow your owner. Or if you stop opposing and just be like water, let it be, and follow your owner, so the life, then you won't have any troubles. I know this is a really awkward example, but I bet you know what I mean, okay? And even though you maybe couldn't catch the cat, you maybe are at a place where more cats are available right now. And if you want some proof, I can show it, okay? So, first of all, the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki, he mentions that controlling and processing your emotions is very, very important. And especially controlling your fear, because fear is like anti-success, you know. It lets you not take action. And also, for example, Timothy Ferriss, who was aka Tim Ferriss, who was the author of this book, The 4-Hour Workweek, and he also made a process on how you can overcome your anxiety in 3 steps. And even Hamza said that. Here's the good clip of Hamza where he mentions that.
The modern world will try and convince you that stoicism is toxic masculinity and that you should never practice stoicism. But I promise you right now that all of those alpha male personality types that you see who are getting really successful and who seem really good with women and they make a lot of money, they're all stoic. They've all learned to manage their emotions.
All of them, and even Andrew Kirby, all of them can process and control their emotions very, very good. But the only thing that I want you to take out of this video is we humans are very emotional people, and we buy things because we are emotionally attracted to something, and we often make a lot of decisions because of our emotions. A successful person is able to process and control their emotions. Decisions that are made only by emotions and not a logical sense behind it are often very bad decisions. So it's very important to learn how you can control your emotions and how you can process them. So this was the only thing that I wanted you to take out of this video. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you learned something new. Take care and stay healthy.